Hey everyone, welcome to the Tom's Hardware Podcast for today, June 20th, 2023. As always, I'm Tom's Hardware Editor-in-Chief, Avram Pilch, joined by Associate Editor Les Pounder, Raspberry Pi expert Ash Shell, and today's very special guests, Caroline Keep and Dan Lynch, who, why don't you tell folks about yourself and the Makerfest that you run?
Go on, Kaz, that's one for you.
Do you want to go first, Dan?
Oh, I
Is
knew
this
you were
one
going
for
to do
me? Yeah, Makefest is the festival for makers in the UK. So we started it a while back ago now. I think we're in our 8th year of doing Makefest, but I think it's our 7th or 6th year of running it. Mainly because we had obviously COVID, so we had to do some online versions of Make activities during those, but pretty much like a very big maker kind of get together where lots of people get to show projects and bring all the stuff, and all the makers across the UK kind of get together. And since we did it, we span it off to the national libraries. The team put together some guidance. Dan and me did a chunk of it, and Denise Jones, our librarian, and Mark Felton, our academic, and basically put together some national guidance for our libraries across the country. And since then, we've had a spate of other Makefests in different regions. From Wirral Makefest just ran, which was amazing. And they were in their first year. And we have other Makefests that run. We had Preston not so long ago. So we have other Makefests pop up around the country now in libraries and community spaces where makers can get together and showcase their projects, talk about it. And it's really a big fun day for all the kind of family to come and just build stuff and make stuff. That's what Makefest is all about.
Yeah, it's completely free to attend, free as in beer and free as in freedom. Yes, so you can come along and and it's always part of the reason it's in a library is because we like to have it in an open public kind of space where people can come along and just wander in, and it's always quite nice to see the people who were just going to the library to maybe like get a book or something. And they're like, what is this? And then they end up getting kind of dragged into it. So it's nice. And it's a great family day out for everyone. It's coming up on, I'm going to do the promo stuff now. It's coming up on the 20, no, hang on. I'm reading the date at the top of the call. I said the 20, I was just read the 20th of June at the top of the call. It's not today. I hope it's not, or we're missing it. It's the 1st of July, which is a week on Saturday. All day in Liverpool Central Library. You can go to liverpoolmakefest.org to find out more information.
Awesome. So, what are some of the things we can look forward to at the next Makefest?
That's liverpoolmakefest.org.
Oh. Yeah, so what are some of the things we can look forward to? There's lots of things going on. We have one of our regular fixtures, which is very popular, is a Nerf gun shooting range, which is a game called Made Invaders, which was made by DefProc Engineering in Liverpool, Pat and Jen. And that's a very cool kind of retro style. They've got like Space Invaders on their... LED Space Invaders on the boxes that you have to shoot, and it gives you a nice total at the top, and people try and compete. Yeah, and people compete. And I, to be honest, I should know exactly how it. I don't know if there's a Raspberry Pi involved in it. There might be somewhere. There certainly is some stuff going on. Is it powered by Raspberry Pi?
There has to be a Pi
we don't
somewhere.
know. I would think so. Let's just say, considering the show we're on, let's just say there is. Let's all just agree that there is. And that's very cool, very popular. We had a load of army cadets on it one year, didn't we? Who kind of took it over because it was Armed Forces Day or something in the city, so there was a lot of young cadets there who were testing out their range skills on the Nerf gun range, which was very cool. I don't know, what else have we got, Kaz? What do you want to mention?
We have loads there. One of my favourites, the yarn bombers, come every year. I love the yarn bombers. So every year we get a whole range of yarn bombers turn up to just do incredible kind of yarn bombing across. That's always one of my favourites. Dr. Footlegs always is there this year with us again. Exobits is there with us. So we normally get some amazing robotics projects turn up every year. We have quantum technology.
Brian Corti will be there.
I think so.
Huge big rigs that are for communicating via radio and long range frequencies, so they can communicate worldwide.
Neat.
Yes, Brian will be there. Yes, so he'll be there as well with some robotics. That I think he's going to have a load of robotics that he's planning on bringing. So we've got we have quite a lot of pie projects. We've got Tanya Fish there as a favourite doing NFC projects. So there's a whole range of kind of things that go on at Makefest. This year it's 60s themed, so everybody should come with their 60s gear on.
Of course.
And it's really good fun actually to kind of see all the range of projects each year. We ask them to give us a little bit of detail about what's going to show up, so we know a little bit, but quite often you get some projects that just come out of nowhere that just sideline you. So it's always exciting to see what people bring at Makefest, to be honest.
Yeah, and we've got some. I've cheated now. In another tab, I've opened our websites because I can't remember exactly what we've got on. So I've cheated and opened the website so I can have a look. For the first time, I think it's the first time this year, we've got spoken word stuff going on. So we've got gonna have a little performance space in the library, which is great.
Nice.
And we're going to have there's some poetry stuff going on. So that's going to be quite interesting. We've got a group of 3 or 4 poets who are quite keen to come and I don't know if there's any poetry about like Raspberry Pis or tech stuff, but there might be. You never know.
You can fix that.
Them. Yeah, we could fix that. Yeah. What can you rhyme with pie? Let's see if we can rhyme with pie and then sky. I don't know. We'll figure it out, and we'll get some stuff going there. So there's that, and we have a thing called Ignite Liverpool, which is short 5-minute talks about various different subjects. And they're going to be incorporated in the kind of performance area as well. So they're going to talk about the future of Liverpool, attempt to talk about the future and predict what might be happening in 2053. I think is what they're going for. So if you have any ideas about what you think will be happening in 2053, or you want to discuss it with some of the guys there, you can do that, which is very cool. So there's a nice little kind of performance element as well this year, which is going to be cool.
Cool. How many floors is it going to be on this year? So you normally take up quite a lot of the library, don't you?
I think it's 4 floors.
Can everybody see me and hear me again?
Yes. We can see you. Yep. You lost connection for a sec. I think, how many floors is it? Is it 4 floors, guys? I think, is it 3 floors? It's a lot of floors anyway. The library itself has 4 floors, and on the roof actually there's an outside area on the roof, kind of terrace, which is going to be cool. And on there we've got Liverpool Astronomical Society. Oh, there you go. You're caught up now. Liverpool Astronomical Society, they're going to have their telescopes set up there, and they're going to be telling us about all kinds of stuff you can see in the night sky. It will be during the day, so I don't know how much you'll be able to see. I'm not up on my astronomy. I don't know how easy it is to see things during the day, but they're going to be doing that. I think we've got some ham radio stuff possibly going on as well. And the roof is a great place for that because you get a good signal, obviously. You can broadcast all over the place. So I don't know, maybe we can see how far we can broadcast a signal from that. But that should be pretty cool as well. So it's something kind of, hopefully something for everyone, whether you're into, you just want to hack circuit boards, or you want to know more about the planets in the solar system, or you want to learn about, what technology or travel could be like in the future. You want to talk about that and so on, and or if you just want to shoot things with a Nerf gun on the Nerf range, you can do that as well.
There's knowledge in that.
Yeah, it's what I like about Liverpool Makefest. It's not just a case of there's stalls with stuff to see. There's stalls to see, obviously, but there's stuff to do. So the kids can go and build lollipop robots, so they can make and paint. They can learn soldering. 1 year, Rachel Rains was there doing a dots project where you painted a hat board on a Raspberry Pi with conductive ink, and you drew a picture of like a plane, and in Scratch a plane would appear because all the GPIO pins connected via this ink. It's wonderful. I've got one of the boards kicking around somewhere. Actually, I bought one. And then you've got stalls downstairs. You've got ABX Labs. So I'm guessing he's going to be there again. Our Dave.
Mm-hmm. You can buy stuff if you're interested. You can, buy components. I think Les always leaves with a few extra things, don't you?
Yeah. And then I get back and go, I've got 4 of these now.
Yeah, so you can buy all kinds of little bits as well if you just want to make some stuff and you need some supplies.
You can never have enough.
Exactly, you can never have too many LEDs or switches or whatever it might be.
It's better to have components on hand than have to disassemble an old project.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
I'm just looking in my drawers now, and I've just seen that I've got the kit that I bought last year from RC 2014. So I've got a full Z80 computer kit. That's just part of it. That's one pack. There's a whole load of it in the drawer, but it's just too much to bring out. So I've got a whole Z80 computer to build that I bought last year. Still not built it.
I was just going to say, you haven't done that yet.
I want to build it with.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's. I don't have the time really, but I've got plenty of soldering irons to do it. I know that. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, they're very, very cool. I've just posted a link there in the chat for you. Yeah, it's a. I think it's actually a project that he actually designed himself, didn't he? It's his own board and stuff that he's built. Yeah. It's called the RC 2014. It's a homebrew computer kit, which is kind of modeling the ZX Spectrum. The Z80 apparently it's based on. And you can do stuff with BASIC. You can write code in BASIC on it, and you can do other stuff. And he's got all these cool little expansion boards that you can kind of fit in as well, which you can buy as well. There's loads of stuff on there. I have to admit, I haven't done one of those myself yet. Maybe this year I'll get a chance to do that as well. So they're going to be in the exhibition space as well.
Awesome. That's more of my money gone then, right?
So James from the chat asks, are there Raspberry Maker Fest in the US?
Good question.
Depends on your definition of that. I don't know if there are any Pi jams on the official calendar for the US. We should check. Last I checked, there were not. So we have had on this show previously the folks who run the Raspberry Pi Jam and who run Raspberry Pi Jams, and I think anyone can start one. And at one point they were having some even in my town, although that was before the pandemic. So
you live in a city though, not a town. I was thinking if there would be anything like that in the US, it would probably be around big cities.
No, but I live in the suburbs, and it was actually like sort of in the suburban area, like and within the city itself. I'm not sure. So what I see here is if you go to events.raspberrypi.com/official, you can see. Oh, but that's just official ones, right? Yeah, they don't. I mean, I don't see
3 there, isn't there? July, August, and October.
There's a Berlin in June, a Taiwan in June 26th, a London hybrid Raspberry Pi pint next week. Pint. Yeah. I wish I could go to that. That sounds awesome.
Right.
I don't know anything about it, but a pint. Cornwall on July. These are US, right? Melbourne, Australia, July 2nd. Southend on Sea, July 15th. San Paulo, although I don't know if this is really a Raspberry Pi event, but it's listed Newark. And anyway, here, I'll put this in the chat for those interested. So that's an official listing. But there's a lot of things that might not have made it. Now, one thing I will say for the US folk is that I wouldn't exactly call it a Raspberry Pi event, but there are maker fairs. And maker fairs will have exhibits with Raspberry Pi in them and other microcontrollers, but they will also have a lot of stuff that is not like that. They'll have people doing like sewing and weaving and stuff, but
neat.
It's fun. I've been to 2 recently, and I want to put a pitch out for anyone who's going to be anywhere near the New York area on October 6th of this year. There's going to be a maker fair at Coney Island, the place where they have the hot dog eating contest in July, and the big Ferris wheel. They're going to be having a maker fair there, and I am trying to get Tom's Hardware an official table at this maker fair. So, and we will show, and I promise you that if we get our table, which I've asked for, we will be showing some Raspberry Pi projects at the table. And for
That's
anybody
great.
watching or listening, including our guests, I would love some ideas of what good stuff to show. I mean, you've run a Makerfest. What do people want to see from a Pi project at a Makerfest? What would be some cool things for us to demo?
That's a good question. First of all, I was going to, First of all, I was going to say, if you are going to enter that hot dog eating contest for Tom's Hardware, can I suggest Les as your representative? Maybe. I think he'd be quite good.
To be fair, the hot dog eating contest is July 4th, so it's like a few months before the Maker Faire. Not that I couldn't go over there because it's maybe like an hour for 45 minutes from my house, but they also have a side show there too. But they're going to have the Maker Faire there on October 6th. But yeah, I'm trying to come up with it. My 11-year-old son and I have been like batting back and forth some ideas that involve some combination of Minecraft and Raspberry Pi and physical computing. He wants us to do something like make some kind of interface between Minecraft and like either an LED board or a robot or something like that. So if you do something in the game, then it either lights up or actually moves something in the real world. Or make a special controller for it. I'm thinking that I'd like to do something that involves either gesture or voice recognition.
Anything interactive for sure.
Running on a Pi. So I guess we will.
I think if you've got interactive stuff, then people will come to your stall and they'll start talking and interacting with you. If you've just got a load of demos like circuit boards on a desk, that's cool.
Nobody wants that.
That's boring.
Nobody wants it. It has to be things that people can use.
Think of Brian Corteil's stall. So he has Zoe, the Zoetrope. He has the robots. He has that briefcase that looks like it's a Bond villain's getaway plan.
Oh man, Brian Corteil is the master. We've had him on the show a number of times. Is he going to be at the Liverpool?
He's going to be there. Yeah. He's going to be there.
That's great.
He's showing some of his He's showing some of his Pi Wars robots that he's made as well. He's bringing some of those along. So that's obviously exciting. People like that. They like to see, Raspberry Pis with wheels on and stuff that can drive around and make loud noises. I was just going to say anything interactive, anything that is going to light up or make a noise or do something like that. Have you guys done anything with? I don't know if it's still going with Pycroft. I bought a pack a while ago to make it's right next to me. Make a Pycroft kind of open source equivalent to an Amazon Alexa or a Google speaker.
The Minecraft devices.
Yeah. So they basically run Minecraft on a Raspberry Pi, hence Pycroft. That's why they call them Pycroft. But they're quite cool. And all you need for that is a microphone and a speaker. You can even use a USB one on your Pi and just plug those in. That could be quite interesting. People could ask it questions and see if it works.
Right. Can I just check? Can everybody hear and see me now?
Yes.
Right. So I've just had to do a minor hack to swap out and reset an internet and recome and move device just quickly. It seems as if my entire area is having an outage. So it's just one of those.
I thought maybe you were on the neighbour's Wi-Fi or something.
No,
that's how you've hacked it.
No. I just hacked it a bit and managed to swap out. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So what did I miss?
Well, we're discussing what you need, what you should show at a Raspberry Pi event. What gets people excited? What projects get you excited on a Raspberry Pi related ones?
I really like ones that are for building things like sensor devices, stuff that interacts with the real world. So I really like devices that are things like, I'm building one at the moment with a bunch of kids that's for a young student who wants to track his grandma's inhaler.
That's interesting.
Smart.
Yeah, we're using a Pico on it. So we're trying to build a sensor onto it. I'll probably use something like NFC on it. and basically be like, attach it and then have a distance sensor and a light, and then build a little case around her inhaler, and then track it to the box itself. So that's one that'll be built by the end of the year.
Oh,
That's
very cool.
Yeah,
I like
so
how
I quite
necessity
like that
drives
one.
creativity on projects like those.
Yeah, that's the ones I really love.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because we're gonna have as I told these folks, I actually have to send them like a picture or something of it before they will approve it. So I have to actually build it like something now, I think. To show at Maker Faire, which is good, gonna be our closest to
Well, that's the thing. In the
closest
UK,
to
we
us.
haven't got a Maker Faire anymore, have we?
No.
Liverpool Makefest is pretty much our
The
Maker
Maker
Faire for the
Faire.
entire country.
Yeah, it used to be. I mean, back in the day, all of us three used to go to Maker Faire. But I feel like Maker Faire in Newcastle got so big, it became like unwieldy, didn't it? It was, and it's quite expensive to run. So when we set up Makefest, I wanted something that was free for communities, free for makers to attend, free for the public to go to, and also really in the open source ethos. So anybody can run a Makefest in Britain. Anybody can run one in a community space, preferably a library or a museum, and you just bring your makers together from within your community. We just didn't expect Liverpool to kind of get so big, and then it just became the de facto big one. So luckily enough, we've got 5 floors, so it's not so bad. We've got the space. Fortunately enough, the Liverpool Central Library is massive. It's a huge building. So we've got the room for it. But I like other makers. I like other Makefests. So me and Dan, you were at Wirral, weren't you?
Yeah.
I love going to other Makefests that have nothing to do with ours. I'd seen the team over at Wirral, like Dr. Diane Powell, to give us some advice in the early days, as I see everybody who sets up a Makefest. So I know when they're kind of running so they don't overlap with each other. And then basically give them some guidance. We wrote some guidance, me and Dan and the rest of us, for the national libraries and the government here. Give them some guidance, give them some info and directions. And then we let them get on with it and see what they come up with. And every time they come up with something completely different. This one had a vintage bus service. And it was from it was so ace. It was from 2 locations. It was from a library, because we have a preference for libraries, because kids can get to books and then they can learn what they're doing. And it was from a library to an art gallery. Between the 2 locations, they had a vintage bus giving everybody free ride between each place. It was ace. I don't know, it was so cool. I was like, this is amazing. I need a vintage bus. I mean, and also you get great ideas from each other. So like we'll have amazing ideas. This year they made ours look like unorganized this year, because theirs is so organized because they're in the first year. And like Holton has amazing ideas when they do it. Stoke's done some brilliant ones. So you get to see like different communities, different groups, different fields. They're kind of like makerspaces in that sense when you go to visit a makerspace, and they're all kind of different. Makefests are all different. They all have a different vibe, a different feel to them. So that's what I like about it.
That's really neat.
Cool. So speaking of things that are really neat, Les, you have a little project you've been working on that would look really cool at a Maker Faire or Makefest.
Hopefully so, yeah. Well, following on from what Caroline said before about having a project that's in the real world, I've got something. So on my desk right now, I'll go to the overhead shot so you can see what I'm talking about. We have Gary the Gasteria here. This is a pot plant from IKEA in Warrington, not far from Liverpool.
It's not far, no.
And Gary's a little bit sickly at the moment. So he's thirsty apparently, but he can't tell me he's thirsty because he has no voice. But using a Pico W, I've given Gary a voice to tell me when he's thirsty. So the code you can see on the screen right now is just a simple bit of MicroPython. It connects to Wi-Fi. It uses a couple of an API for Telegram to send me a message on Telegram to say that he's thirsty. But it also uses a soil moisture sensor, which is just jabbed into the soil very carefully. And it takes 5 readings. Then it has the median of those 5 readings as the rough value of is he thirsty or not. And if he is, it sends a message to me to say, water me. So if I run this code now, and with the demo gods on my side, we're going to see it's going to say true to say it's connected. And it's going to take 5 readings. Stores them all in a list. And then if it's below 400, it sends a message. And you can see in the top right, Telegram is saying Gary is thirsty. And there's not a lot of code here. Most of it is just setting up the Wi-Fi and then also doing a little bit of maths to work out the median using a module called statistics. It's pretty easy. And then just using a try and accept capture error message. So it tries this, and if it works, great. But if it has an OS error, in other words, if it can't connect to Wi-Fi, it just prints a message saying, I can't connect to the Wi-Fi. So this is going to be a how-to coming out this weekend that you can all follow along and hack your own pot plants to have their own voice via Telegram.
Nice work.
Thanks.
That's ace, that Les.
So,
I'm
I'm
totally nicking some of that for some of my students. Have you used the Pico Wi-Fi?
Yeah, Pico W is standard MicroPython on it, it's the latest version.
Yeah.
The only special thing that's in there is, if I just quickly go back to the code and show you that again, right at the top we've got, I can't say this word very quickly, statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just a standard Python 3 statistics module that I've just imported as a Python file. It's not MicroPython code, it's just Python. Dumped it in there, then I just call the median class from there to say, okay, take the readings, use median value, and then if it's less than 400, tell me that Gary is thirsty. So there's nothing secret, nothing special about it, just one extra library.
That's nice. I'm totally using that.
And the soil sensors, I'm guessing ABX is going to have them at Liverpool Makefest for about
Yes,
£1.
they will. ABX is as our usual. You'll get a whole bunch of, we have our standard where you can buy things. So, you can grab some basic kind of sensors and things from there. So, you'll find them all at Makefest.
There you go. £1 for the sensor and £6, £8 for Pico W, and you've got a talking pot plant.
But that's really good.
I've got like 4 cactuses or cacti or whatever. I think cacti is the plural. They're not actually here. They're usually on this shelf behind me. And they're out in the garden getting some fresh air at the moment. But I have this image of like linking them all up so they could do a little chorus between them, like the Bee Gees or something. When they want to tell me that they're thirsty. Do some like 3-part harmony or something. I don't know.
I've got a stack of Picos because I've been doing some work on the Picos, looking at their educational content for Raspberry Pi. So I can see and tell you now I'm going to be hacking a few of them to use that one with Les. I think that's a corker.
The code and the how-to will be on the site this weekend. Feel free.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
So, it's lovely to have kind of interesting projects when you see ones like that, where then I think, how can I use that bit? Because I've just started to work on that inhaler tracker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, ooh, how are we going to do this on a Pico? But I think you've maybe given me the idea there. I was going to do it with an NFC or RFID tag, but I don't know whether you could do it with Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So
it's easy to modify, though. So
yeah, exactly.
So speaking of interesting projects, Ash, you had some that you wanted to highlight.
Yeah, so I was checking out the Liverpool Makefest website before the show, and I noticed that it was going to be 60s themed, and I thought, well, that's pretty groovy. And I know that people have less than 2 weeks to go before they get to go show off all their hard work, but that's plenty of time to throw something together. So I thought maybe these 60s themed Raspberry Pi projects that we've covered before might inspire some people. So first, let me get my OBS set up. All right, so check out this TV. It is so gorgeous. It's got a Raspberry Pi inside, but it's a modern TV. Obviously, it's got a Pi inside, but just the design looks like that old school black and white TV you'd see. You have to get up and push the button to change the channel. You don't have a clicker with it yet. And I mean, it's just gorgeous. I think they called it the Atomic TV, and we covered it on the website, but you can check it out over at YouTube too. It's got some really cool switches and potentiometer. I love the knob and this big light right here. It's just very well put together.
That is nice.
And the next one I wanted to share, Dan, you mentioned earlier the idea of like what the future might be like. And I like the concept of what people used to think the future would be like. So this is this next project kind of makes me think about that retro futurism. So it's not exactly 60s themed, but it looks like something somebody from the 60s would have thrown together for like what the future would look like.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
Pi
is by
Arcade.
Jamhamster.
Yes.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. It is an arcade, but look at that just design. You got the arches, the orange.
Yep.
It's just, to me, it screams 1960s.
Jamhamster did that.
Oh, yeah. All of his stuff is just beautiful.
That's lovely.
I want to
Beautiful
touch it, leave fingerprints on it. It's always so shiny.
I was just thinking that it'd get really greasy if you touched it, or it would if I touched
know,
it anyway.
But you wouldn't. You just look at it in awe.
Yeah. Put gloves on to use it. Maybe.
It's so gorgeous, man. Look at the joystick right there. Even that's got the chrome plating on it. Like every little bit of it is so shiny.
And he hasn't even stopped there. He's got cassette tapes from the 1980s that have Arduinos built into them, and they can play the audio from Spectrum games.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
So you just load in your audio and put it in, and away you go. It's like
And all the themes, like it all fits together with the same visual theme. It's like an art project and a Pi project or Arduino, whatever. Microelectronics. It's just very, very well executed. Jamhamster stuff is very worth looking at.
Yeah.
And lastly, this one is 100% a 1960s project because they're using a 1968 radio and they put a Pi inside of it. Now it's a Wi-Fi boombox.
Yes. I love that kind of recycle reuse thing as well. That's so good. Just for us to use the kind of older technology in new ways. Always a favorite.
Absolutely. Nice. So that should inspire at least a few people to make something for your Makefest coming up.
Yeah, definitely do. I mean, there's always opportunities to come and kind of showcase off what you're making or just talk to other makers. We have an after party as well. You mentioned that, Dan.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
we
so
didn't
there's
make
always
it that far.
there's always an after party every year.
Cool.
We have it does Liverpool Makespace.
Yeah,
which is
nearby Makespace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's an after party, and then there's the Sunday morning brunch on it.
Make a brunch, is it, or something?
Yeah, we call it make a brunch. For those of us who have been out too late and then want to kind of get in late and then build things, that's why we have a make a brunch, not a make a breakfast.
Smart.
But yeah, there's always the after party for karaoke's and to go around the makerspace, see all the stuff that's there, build some things, just chat. So, you know, the day that we have Makefest, we get huge amounts of the public come in.
Yeah.
So we get thousands and thousands of people come and attend. So it can be quite intensive on makers. So we tend to try and keep the after party and the maker brunches to those who are, you know, invested in the maker community and want to know more, or anybody who's just interested in becoming part of the community itself, to turn up to the local makerspace and go have a good look round and figure out how to get involved.
Great. Well, thank you all for sharing that, for sharing your time with us. You can learn more at liverpoolmakefest.org. And I encourage anyone who lives anywhere near Liverpool Makefest, near Liverpool, to drop in. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. Thank you so much to our special guests, Dan and Carolyn. And thanks to all of you for watching and listening. We will be back next Tuesday, the 27th at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. US Eastern time. And we will see you all then. Bye, everyone.